All right, welcome. It's Talk Sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodu, the King of Sport, and I've got my bags full with all the big stories making the rounds in the exciting world of sport, the interviews, and the stories definitely you would want to hear. We'll begin from the home front as usual with the big story. Remember this man? He used to be the deadliest striker in Nigeria. One of them, yes, his name, Samson Siasia. Yes, we're going to talk about him as a former Super Eagles head coach and striker. Samson Siasia has been in the news in recent weeks. The former Nigerian international was linked with Nigeria National League side, Mighty Jets of Jos, the Super Eagles, and some clubs in South Africa. This comes after the 57-year-old recently served out a 5-year ban imposed on him by the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA, for breach of ethics. Reports reaching us tells us that FIFA hit Siasia with a live ban from all football-related activities in 2019 over allegations of match fixing. But upon appeal, Siasia's punishment was later reduced to 5-year ban by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS. The former Nantes player completed the ban in August this year and is now free to return to football. Samson Siasia is looking to get his coaching career back on track again after the lengthy absence from football. When contacted by our correspondent on Monday to speak on reports linking him with both Nigerian and South African clubs and to talk about his next coaching plans after serving out his FIFA ban, Siasia declined to comment on the matter. According to Siasia, he doesn't want the whole world to know about his next plans at the moment. Meanwhile, speaking with one other person, FC coach, talking about the Wakanda FC coach, Oroide Richard, insisted it is a welcome development should Siasia end up joining South African club. According to him, Siasia is a good coach and it would be better for him to rejuvenate his career again after what he went through. What I will be talking to, hopefully in the course of the program, we'll be talking to the Samson Siasia's lawyer in the person of Mali Ikpebe, who will be joining us via Zoom or phone call to give us a clearer update as regards what is next for the former Super Eagles striker and coach. I also have someone waiting in the wings. I will not let the cat out of the bag. Let me give you this next big story. It's about two great rivals from West Africa. Yes, you know them, the Black Stars and the Super Eagles. Every time they meet, it's always a collision of giants. Let's give you the big story that Nigeria has named a 32-man roster for the second phase of their training camp ahead of the anticipated two-legged CHAN qualifying fixture against arch rivals Ghana in December. Most players have received notification of their invitation and will join the Super Eagles B team with some of the latest additions, including Remo Stars goalkeeper Kayode Bankole and so Kumaga of Lobby Stars. We also have Osumati, an experienced winger. We've got Bernard Ovoke, and we've got Anikeme Okon also in the team. Obon Friday of Rivers United, and under 23 and Water FC star Dominion Ohaka. Others are Canopilas trio of Abiam Nelson, Aminu Adams, and Sudais Alibaba. All invited players are expected to report to camp for intensive preparations under the tutelage of Fidelis Ilechiku, one of Nigeria's finest coaches, and Daniel the Bull Omokachi, while Augustine Guavon Cerezo, you call him, goes on an assignment outside the country. The team began camp on Wednesday last week before being dispatched the following day to represent their various clubs in the Nigerian Premier Football League matches over the weekend. The players showed flashes of brilliance during the two-day exercise, drawing optimism and encomiums from Super Eagles interim coach and technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation and the person of Augustine Guavon, who said he was impressed with what he had seen of the players so far. Meanwhile, let's let you know that Ghana will host Nigeria in the first leg between 20th to 22nd of December, and 2nd to 22nd, 2024. While the second leg holds in Nigeria a week later, the winner over the two legs will automatically qualify for the 2025 CHAN, which will be co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Call it the Eastern Bloc CHAN tournament. That's what it is. Talking about Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. All right, let's go to our darling Flying Eagles. Yes, remember 1989 when they did us a proud diamond miracle. Yes, Chris Ohehe, Nduka Ogbade, and Samuel Elijah, and the rest of the crew. All right, but this we're talking about the recent Flying Eagles. As the coach is in the news this morning, Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubairu said his team is still not yet at the level he wanted. Zubairu's side successfully defended their crown at the Wafu B Under-20 Championship in Lomé, Togo last month. They defeated eternal rivals Ghana 2-1 in the finals. The Flying Eagles also secured a place at the 2025 African Under-20 Cup of Nations despite their success in Lomé. The golfer said his team is still a work in progress. All right, we want them to be super good. All right, from one national team, let's go to the other. We're still talking the Flamingos. Yes, the Nigerian Under-17 women's team, the Flamingos, have carted home the Fair Play Trophy of the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which was concluded on Sunday in the Dominican Republic, with North Korea lifting the trophy at the expense of Spain, following a 4-3 penalty win in the finals. Nigeria exited the tournament at the quarterfinals following a 2-0 defeat to the United States of America, but Coach Bankole side emerged as the team with the best disciplinary record following the near-perfect conduct in 4 matches, including encounters with New Zealand, Ecuador, and the host nation Dominican Republic, as Shakirat Moshood and Celia Segura tied for the Bronze Boot Award with 4 goals each, but the Spanish forward narrowly prevailed due to the assist in the 2-1. Meanwhile, Korea DPR winger wins the Adidas Golden Ball. Spain's Paul Comendador and Celia Segura collected a pair of individual honors, while Evans Osteen takes home the Adidas Golden Gloves. All right, enough of the Flamingos. Let's move on to the next big story. Still talking female football. Asisat Oshoala is in the news this morning. Asisat Oshoala has made history with National Women's Soccer League club, Bay FC, having recorded the most wins by an expansion team in an inaugural regular season. The San Francisco-based club, which began to play in the NWSL as an expansion team in the 2024 season, recorded 11 wins in 26 matches to finish the regular season in the 7th position with 34 points, securing a spot in the playoff where they will face Washington Spirit on Sunday, November 10, 2024. Meanwhile, Oshoala, who joined the club after her contract with FC Barcelona, scored 7 goals to finish 13th in the scorers chart at the end of the regular season. Asisat Oshoala has made history with a National Women's Soccer League club, BFC, having recorded the most wins by an expansion team in the inaugural season. All right, that's talking about Asisat Oshoala out there, who plays also for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. All right, let's do a quick one there. Giving some news about the MPFL, and it's Mokachi in the news. Lobby Stars head coach Daniel Mokachi has described his side's slim defeat to Remo Stars in the match day 10 fixture of the Nigerian Premier Football League as unfortunate. The Makurdi-based side put in a decent performance against Remo Stars, creating good scoring opportunities, but failed to convert them. Big chances missed by Osai Martins and Jimmy Iteji prevented Lobby from at least securing a point in Ikene on Sunday. The Dole had a good opportunity to break the deadlock when they came closer to the box. Unfortunately, their effort failed to hit the target. Despite ending the first half 0-0, the second half began with Micah Ibe's headed goal, putting the home side in from. Alias boys surged forward in search for an equalizer, but their effort proved insufficient as Remo Stars ran out 1-0 winners. Meanwhile, reacting after the defeat at Remo Stars Stadium, Ikene, Amakachi said his players played very well despite the outcome of the encounter. He acknowledged that the lads are adapting very well to his philosophy, which has improved them. He promised to sort out the grey areas he identified and pick the positive gains from pledging to put the team in shape before the visit of Abia Warriors on the match day 11 at the Lafia City Stadium. All right, still giving some MPFL news. Let's talk about Pillars now. It's Kano Pillars goalkeeper in the news this morning. Let's let you know that Kano Pillars goalkeeper Charles Tembe has described Sunday's Nigerian Premier Football League match 10 victory against Plateau United as a special win for the fans and the team, reflecting on the encounter Muhammadu Diko in the Muhammadu Diko Stadium in Katsina. The Cameroonian shot-stopper who pulled off a string of brave saves to keep his team in the game after falling behind Kano Pillars, who recorded their fourth win in the campaign to move up 8th to 6th positions in the logs. Started slowly and leaned heavily on Tembe, who made 5 crucial saves, demonstrating why he is fast becoming a trusted figure between the post for the same Masugida side in what was his third straight start. That's why the defensive errors, Plateau United took the lead early in the second half, piling pressure on the Pillars, who showed resilience, equalizing in the 78th minute with a brilliantly executed free kick by veteran Rabiu Ali. Meanwhile, Ahmed Musa capped off the comeback, scoring in the 92nd minute to secure all 3 points. The goal marked Musa's third of the season, a testament to his growing impact at the club. All right, let's go for a quick one into the world of athletics as an investigation committee set up by the federal government has stated that the inactions of some officials of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria were responsible for Favour Ofili's non-registration for the women's 100 meters race at the Paris Olympics. Nigeria failed to win any medal at the end of the 2024 Paris Olympics held between 26th of July and 11th of August 2024. Added to the failure to secure any medal were the controversies, including the exclusion of Favour Ofili from the women's 100 meters race and the revelation by Ese Okpez Seraye that she had to borrow a track bike from the German team to compete in its report made available to journalists on Monday. The committee chairman, Mumin Alao, stated that the omission of Ofili's name was traceable to the following organizations: the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, the Nigeria Olympic Committee, World Athletics, and the International Olympic Committee. The committee also mentioned that the Secretary General of the AFM, Rita Mosindi, was negligent in her duty to communicating to the Ministry of Sports Development and the Nigerian Olympic Committee information about Ofili's event status in a reliable and timely manner. So now we've found the culprit. We hope the right things will be done. All right, let's go for a very quick break. When we return from this break, we'll be talking with my guest who is live in the studio. He's not a person but Maxino Dixon, who'll be helping us look at some of these big stories we talked about, and also not forgetting about the man called Tolu Aroko Dare, has said that the KRC Genk want to win the Belgian Pro League title this season. This and other big stories what we share with you after this very quick break. Stay with us. All right, welcome back from the break. It's still Talk Sport, and I've got Mazino Dixon in the studio to help us look at some of the issues I've raised. And like I told you, hopefully we'll be talking with the lawyer, Samson CSS lawyer, in the person of Mani Ikpebe, to give us a clear picture of what is really happening as regards the former Super Eagles coach Samson Siese, if he will be getting back on track and how soon and which team. But before we do that, Mazino, let's look at some of the big stories we've shared. For you, especially the probe, the Paris 2024 probe. Now we see that Athletic Federation of Nigeria, the National Olympic Committee, they were all culpable for the fact that Ofili couldn't take part in the 100 meters. What else do you expect to hear or see after these investigations?
Well, at least let's say it's a good start. At least we now have an idea what went wrong, and names have been mentioned. So I guess, even if you sanction those responsible, which many people would want, the thing is that, have we learned from this mistake so that it does not repeat itself again? So going forward, I want a situation where the sporting authorities, irrespective of the sporting associations, get their acts right, communicating with one another, ensure that logistics are always available for the sportsmen and women when they're going for an event. Even take stock, an audit of, okay, what do we have on ground before proceeding for an international meet? What are the needs of the team? And what are the rules governing different competitions? Have there been changes in between? Have there been, is there an update on, because sometimes what happens is that in between sporting events, there might be a change in terms of rules applications. So in that kind of situation, maybe if the sporting authorities or personnel charged with the responsibility of following up on such events don't do that, then this kind of mishap would happen. On the other hand, some people will say it could be politics behind the scenes, maybe
trying to get at the athletes specifically.
Yes, but you see, that's rather myopic. So I'm happy that this investigation was thorough, because it was really painful when Ofili could not go for the 100 meters. We were all wondering what happened, and it just seemed off. Something just seemed off. Credit to the chairman of the committee, Mr. Mumini Alao, of course, a sports veteran and a trusted hand. So I knew when he was appointed as the chairman, he would do a thorough job. Credit to him. Let's move forward. Let's ensure that this does not happen again.
All right, let's looking at other stories for you. Are you excited having Daniel Makachi back in the dugout and in local scene?
Absolutely.
And, do you think there's going to be a change for Lobby Stars?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I understand he's bringing a Finnish manager as well from Finland to join the technical team, because Lobby Stars last season, they started very well. They maintained up to the end of the season and they fizzled out. So many thought that, okay, since this season was barely just a few weeks apart from the last season, they would continue where they stopped. But it seemed they've stuttered, they've struggled. And credit to Dan for the Bull for coming back to help his home state team, Lobby Stars. I hope that along the line they're able to get their acts together so that they can compete. But more importantly, I hope the state government is able to ensure that the team now plays at home in Makurdi rather than playing at Lafia Stadium in Nasarawa, because
the renovation process is done.
That's the thing. We need to ensure that they are able to get that, because no doubt Lafia Stadium has served as a home ground for Lobby Stars, but it's not the same, because the movement going to and fro, the logistical nightmares. Rather than spend money on that, why not get the stadium in Makurdi up to scratch? This pitch and other infrastructure, get them working so that at least they can feel at home. The home fans will be there to cheer them on. And with Daniel Amokachi, that his fighting spirit, he was able to transmit that to the team. I know Lobby Stars will get up and fight. So it's a good one to have him back.
All right, let's talk about Chan, the Flying Eagles, and also Zubairu saying the Flying Eagles is not still the team he wants them to be. Does that sound like good news?
I'm very happy. When he was appointed, he had just led El Kanemi Warriors to winning the FA Cup. Many were like, oh, where did he come from? He's not, is he experienced enough? But we saw as that WAFU B Championship progressed, the team grew. Yes, they lost their first match, but the second match they fought, came back from behind and won. The third match, the semi-finals, they really came out flying. And of course, the final against our rivals Ghana, they did us proud. And we saw some talents there, especially the boy from Beyond Limits, put up a fantastic performance. For me, he was the best player of that tournament. And gradually, we are seeing a shift that I must commend NFF for. What am I talking about? Coach Ilechukwu, Coach Arumo Dede are with the Super Eagles. Now, Coach Zuberi is also with the Flying Eagles. So we are seeing a revolution, a bringing on of new blood, new ideas. And I think I like the tactics of the coach. Yes, he may not be known within Nigerian circles, but he has won the FA Cup. Look at El Kanemi Warriors. He left them for some months. Till now, they are the only unbeaten team in the NPFL. That tells you something. The coach knows his onions. And when he says this is not the best, it tells you that, look, he wants to even go 3, 4, 5, 6 steps higher. And I'm happy. I would just plead with the NFF to leave the coach. The most important thing is to qualify for the Under-20 World Cup. Even if we don't win the African Youth Championship, I mean, we've won it several times, so there's no biggie in that issue. The thing is to get the team to play. And another thing, Anthony, I forgot to add, we've seen the infusion of MPFL players in the under-20 team. That's a big one, because for some time we've not had that happen. What we see is players from academies, some even brought from outside the country. So it's good when we now see some of our players who are regulars in the Nigerian league, in the Premier League, playing for the under-20 team. So it means something good is being done. And congratulations to the Flying Eagles for defending that title. Go to the African Youth Championship and make us proud, and go to the World Cup. It's your own field to play, and the sky is the limit.
All right, just before we take other stories and go for a quick break, let's look at the talk about Samson Siasia coming back into the coaching forward. I guess you must be excited about Samson Siasia getting back.
Very excited. Samson Siasia, Coach Samson Siasia is a favorite of every Nigerian fan. His brand of football epitomizes all that is beautiful about the Nigerian football culture. Quick passes, break busting through the middle from the flanks, gradual build up from the back. You know, Samson Siasia and Coach Austin Eguavon, they are of the same school. That traditional Nigerian style of play. Yeah. And it would be a good one to have Coach Samson Siasia in the NPFL or any other team. Even if he's in South Africa, he has proved his mettle. He's good. But one thing about Coach Samson Siasia is this: I've observed, when you want to get the best out of him, allow him build his team. If you impose players on him, you might get mixed results. But when he's allowed, given that time, okay, coach, do your thing. He builds the team in his character. We've seen it with the under-20 team in 2005. We've seen it with the Olympics team in 2008. And we've also seen it with the Olympics team of Rio 2016. So it's not by accident. The few times he forayed into the Super Eagles, it was at midpoint. Some damage had been done. And you could see that he has that template that he just needs time for the players to key in. But most times we bring him in at the middle, and you don't get the best results. So for Coach Samson Siasia, welcome back. We are so happy to have you back, and I want to believe that within a short while he should be back within the national football fraternity to give us so much that he has given all these years again.
All right, that's well said. Let's give you some other talking points. We'll be doing some swap somewhere along the line where we've got Gabriel Batistuta. I call him Gabriel Obi. Will be joining us somewhere in the middle of the program to get his take as regards other issues making the rounds. Okay, we've got some other interesting talking points we will share with you. Let's move on to other issues making the round across the globe, where the story has to do with what's happening in Europe. Let's go to Spain. Yeah, Spain is where we like to take you to, where Kylian Mbappe has been identified as the biggest problem in Real Madrid's current struggle by manager Carlo Ancelotti. According to reports, the Frenchman was hailed as Madrid's blockbuster summer signing after refusing to extend his stay at Paris Saint-Germain and signing as a free agent with the league leaders. The Stars' refusal to help the teammate regain possession has caused an imbalance in Madrid's setup that is making them more open and susceptible to counterattacks. However, life in Spain's capital has been far from plain sailing for the superstar striker, whose arrival has coincided with Madrid struggling to mount convincing defenses of both their La Liga and European triumphs. Barcelona recently trashed Madrid 4-0 in El Clasico to establish a 9-point lead over their rival, with Mbappe frustrating Los Blancos fans with his finishing and tendency to stray offside during the match. A quick one. Did we see this coming?
Well, for me, I think the timing of Mbappe going to Real Madrid was the problem. He should have gone at least 2 years ago. If you've noticed, as he has gotten older, now he's 25, I'm right, 25, 26. His game is just basically built on speed. And for now, he's still better playing from the wings. He has not, Thierry Henry started from the left, even though he's a two-footed player. Then as he got older, coach Arsene Wenger moved him to the center, and he transited perfectly. For Mbappe, two things. One, Real Madrid really, I said this, I think last week, the way they are currently set up, there was nothing Mbappe was really going to add to that team, other than just the fact that he's a Galactico, right? So that is that. Rodrigo, the Brazilian that comes in from the bench, is deadly. Vinicius, he's doing a yeoman's job from the wings. So that's why Coach Carlo Ancelotti moved him to, Mbappe to the center, and he has not delivered. He should calm down. He will get his goals. I think he should play more for the team. That's what Jude Bellingham did for Real Madrid last season. He played for the team.
But was it fair for Ancelotti to single him out as a problem of the Galacticos? I
would love to hear the quote, right, of what the full context of what he said. But without Coach Ancelotti saying this, the word is out there. There's from the Spanish capital, word out there is that the team is unsettled. He's kind of arrogant. His offish behavior. In fact,
they've always known that's who he is.
But if you look at the current Real Madrid setup, right, they are playing for each other. You see, like Jude Bellingham and Vinicius, they help each other. There's that, they don't care who takes the glory. At the end of the day, it's the team. That's why Bellingham was like, I'm rooting for Vinicius to win Ballon d'Or. Vinicius said, I'm rooting. That spirit. When you now bring in someone that is not selfish, who is selfish and is not willing to build in, it will cause disharmony. As for the offside trap, it's not Mbappe's fault. Everyone, in fact, right now, within the football fraternity, everyone is wondering who can beat Hansi Flick's offside tactics. For some reason, the Barcelona team have perfected the art of offside trap. Now, teams find it hard to go past them. So it's not just an Mbappe problem. That is strictly the signature of Coach Hansi Flick. He has built that confidence in the team. They are natural ball jugglers. Now he has infused that tactical discipline that has been missing in Barcelona all these years. And so I think we should not blame Mbappe on that. From that score, yeah.
All right. We just while we're talking, we've got some messages coming through, and we'll be talking with. Let's see if we can get across to the Samson Siasia's lawyer in the person of Manny Bebel to help give us some clue as regards what's playing out in terms of Samson Siasa and what his future lies, if he is moving to South Africa or if he's going to remain in Nigeria and probably take Mighty Jets of Jos. But looking at Mighty Jets of Jos and compared to a South African team, I wonder where he would prefer to want to start his career from. All right, I want to get across to Manny, who has assured us he will be willing to speak to us. We'll definitely get him through so that we can hear what Samson CS's plans are for the future, if he'll be staying back in Nigeria or if he'll be heading to South Africa or France or wherever to kickstart his coaching career. All right, moving from Real Madrid's issue and the story about, let's take you to the Gunners. Yes, we're talking about the Gunners Arsenal, where the big shock is the fact that Arsenal suffered a huge blow on Monday morning when Mail Sports exclusively revealed that sporting director Edu has left the club. News that the club confirmed later that afternoon. Since joining the Gunners in July 2019, the Brazilian has been responsible for capturing key signings such as Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and in leading Arsenal's strong performance in recruitment and delivering major players to the club. He is widely thought to as one of the leading sporting directors in the world football for masterminding the change in Arsenal's signing surge, as well as supporting the offloading of troubled stars such as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Mesut Ozil, who were considered to be part of the failed past. Let's look at the fact that now Edu is leaving. Do you think there's going to be an effect on Arsenal? Because it should be said, it was the coming of Edu. Yes, he played for Arsenal, but his coming has changed the fortune in terms of his sporting director role.
Mm-hmm. I think that it came to me as a rude shock because whether you like it or not, Arsenal were beginning to have a character. In other words, that brittleness that has always been their Achilles heel was actually being addressed, and the team was becoming a bit more toughened. But in recent weeks, it would seem to me that the Arsenal team was becoming a bit more aggressive. The amount of cards they received, red cards, yellow cards, fouls committed. Remember, Edu was a no-nonsense defensive midfield player for Arsenal. Perhaps, maybe behind the scenes, there's already this talk of the football culture, and perhaps maybe Edu just felt, okay, it's time for me to take my leave and go somewhere else. But the question is, why at this time? Now, if this was at the end of the season, Anthony, okay, you might say, okay, well, okay, he has done his bit and he wants to go. But this is we're getting to the most critical point of the season, and already Arsenal is creaking. So they've already had 2 losses. They lost to Bournemouth. They lost on Saturday to Newcastle United. Yeah. So already, and the goals have started drying up because it would seem that tactically they are being found out. The outlet for most of their goals is Saka, and Odegaard missing from the middle has left them kind of exposed. And so definitely it would seem to me that there might have been some issues behind the scenes. We have to wait. In a couple of days, the British tabloid, they will definitely dig up and find out. I don't think it's a good...
But do you think it's more about the money, the financial benefit he's going to get from Nottingham Forest? Because that's where he's heading to. And we know that the Greek owner, in the person of Marinakis, can't do anything to get what he wants. He's very ambitious, and money is not his problem, because it's been at a point said there were different sources of his income. He was investigated at a point. So do you think it's the money that's moving into, and not necessarily the fact that there's an infighting in Arsenal?
It could be that already the atmosphere was getting toxic and heated. And notice that Nottingham, they're on the ascent. Right now, they are 3rd on the table, and they have become a very difficult team to beat. And they can take on any team. The players seem to have bought into the football culture of the coach, and it's panning out right. Look at the fantastic goal by Aina to wrap up their win against West Ham United. So for Edu going there, that is a very big one, because the Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham, is a maverick, and he's, like you said, he's ready to go into the kitchen, go under the bathroom, ready to throw anything into the fray to ensure that Nottingham Forest make it, and they're doing well. So that now that you've said this, that is a very significant thing. But the question now is, if Edu leaves, who comes in? You understand? Like I said, it's rather too early, because normally Arsenal, their problems normally start after Christmas. Because normally they will start well, August, September, they come out flying. Then from November, December, then when the Boxing Day matches, back to back, Carabao Cup, injuries clocking, then Guardiola and his team decide that, okay, now we want to wrap it up. So it's a very critical point. But yes, money definitely might play a role. And remember that Marinakos, he wants... Nottingham Forest originally are one of the traditional teams in England.
Sure.
Traditional. And the owner of Arsenal, he has spent some money, no doubt. He has actually, because remember there was a time Arsenal fans were really pissed off. I remember that time I was in the States and I was staying not far from Kroenke's house.
Okay,
fans every morning you see them going there heckling, like spend money, like I think so it was a fun sight to see them, but he seemed to have heckling to them, and Edu was actually delivering. They got the FA Cup, they finished runners up twice, and they found themselves again in Europe. So it's a big loss for Arsenal, and they have to quickly find a way to plug that in, because if they don't, the season will unravel.
All right, before I let you go, let's just look at quickly in terms of Manchester United. And we've not spoken about Amorim. What's your take about Amorim? He said hopefully he's going to be seen as the next Alex Ferguson. Is that not too much pressure he's putting on himself already?
He has already. Well, Portuguese, if you understand the Portuguese mentality, they are naturally very confident people. They don't back down. They can face any scenario and they will come out talking and smoking. But you see, the owners of Manchester United, they appreciated all Sir Alex has done for them. But now they're trying to move out of that era because, like I said, and it has now been confirmed, the shadow of Sir Alex was too much on Manchester United. If I were Amorim, I would have, he has a right to say what he wants to say, but I would have just said, okay, I want to get Manchester United back to what it used to be. Everybody will know. But when you say Sir Alex, you have set a very high standard. And remember, the Premier League environment is not what it was when Sir Alex was there. Then Sir Alex was like the king of everything. The mere sight of him at the doghouse, chewing gum, you get agitated even as an opponent, even as a football official. But Amorim is young. He has done very well with Sporting. They defended the Portuguese league twice now, and they are unbeaten this season. Ruud van Nistelrooy has actually got Manchester United playing again. Yes, they had a draw against Chelsea, but I believe if Ten Hag were on that dugout, Chelsea would have won that game. But he's a good fix. But the fans have to be patient. One thing I'm happy about is that this morning I understood that the Manchester hierarchy, they've agreed that he should come with his full complement of his backroom staff so that he can implement his philosophy. I mean, Ten Hag was there and you brought in Van Nistelrooy. Yes, they are both Dutchmen, but they have different philosophies. So, I mean, the control, and I know that was definitely the hand of Alex. Nobody needs to even, Alex hand was there. So with Amorim now having his own team, even if they don't win this season, he now has a whole year to build the team in his image. And we can see Man U playing again. Fernandes is there, and all the other players, they have to play for him. The key for Manchester United is the players playing for the coach and the fans. If they do that, I'm a Liverpool fan, so we're rivals, but it's not the same when Man U is not at its best. It adds something to the league. So definitely, I know Amorim is going to add something to that team, and the league will become even more competitive than it is at the moment.
All right, that's gotten Zeno Dixon there doing analysis like you never want him to stop talking football or talking sport. All right, but like Pep Guardiola would do, he will always swap his best players or other best players. And at this point, we'll go for a quick break here because we've got Gabriel Batistuta who is waiting in the wings and signaling he is ready to score more goals. While we take out the gangling. No, he's not gangling.
I'm not gangling.
He's stocky like
Gravesen, Thomas Gravesen.
Oh, a Liverpool player. All right, let's go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we're going to have a swap, and it's still talking sports. Stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk Sports with the King of Sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Oh, that goal! Beautiful work from the wingers!
All right, welcome back here from the break. You still talk sport, and while we went on a quick break, we had a quick substitution. I've got Gabriel Obi, aka Gabriel Batistuta, in the studio, and we have to take off Maxino Dixon after he scored a hat-trick. It's now time for Obi to take charge. All right, nice to have you back into the team. Let's just quickly look at issues making the rounds. First of all, one of the big stories is Samson Siasa getting back to coaching, and it's been rumored that he's likely to move to Mighty Jets or a club in South Africa. Let's look at, first of all, his ban. Do you think that ban was a fair one, or you think it was more of a setup?
I think the ban was more speculative. Up to now, there was no concrete proof of what he was alleged to have offense to have committed. I think there was setups here and there. You know, in the football family, there are a lot of things that go behind the scene. I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad the ban was shortened and he's back into sports. It's one of our surest hands when it comes to coaching in Nigeria. I mean, he's one coach, and when he's on the sideline, I'm confident that we can turn things around. with Siasia, you can trust for a free-flowing player of football. You can see an attacking-minded kind of football. You can see new crop of players are going to spring up from his team. So I'm happy. In fact, if I have to choose for the NFF, I would say hand over the child team to Siasia and let Guavon be managing what he's doing. If Guavon doesn't have the insurance bag for us to buy goods, we need to get him off as fast as we can, because he's not a coach who can take to AFCON next year. I don't know what the NFF is thinking, or maybe they just want to allow him, since we've qualified already. Maybe let's just do the 2 matches, but you see, Guavon cannot take us to AFCON. I prefer even Siasia to take on the AFCON and Guavon, because Siasia has been tested and trusted, and Guavon has always failed us when it matters most. So his coaching style has not helped us. He's just been, he's been riding on the wings of the players, because we have fantastic players. But see, when it comes to technical know-how, substitutions, and all that, give the Siasia.
Okay, let's move on to in terms of the issue playing out in Manchester United. Amorim, the new coach.
Yeah.
Are you confident he's going to deliver the goods with the pressure? And also looking at the issue of Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
2 matches so far. He won 5-2 and against Leicester in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And against Chelsea, a very tough game which would have gone either side. The issue is, should Van Nistelrooy stay put, or should Van Nistelrooy be allowed to leave? With the bond he has with the fans, with the players, where do you think Van Nistelrooy should be?
I would have preferred, one thing I've noticed that when players that play in the team, coach that same team, they tend to do more and give more to that team, because they are legends. This thing they bring to the team, they're going to give all. Van Nistelrooy came with so much enthusiasm. You could see that he was excited. He saw an opportunity, and since he knows the players, he gave it these two matches as coach. You see that the players have played for him. You will see Bruno Fernandes now play well. Suddenly, the last time I came, I said the players didn't play for Ten Hag. You remember I said last week, they didn't play for him. They let him go, because the players have frustrated the coach. So Van Nistelrooy has bothered the players. I would have loved them to allow him to continue Manchester United, bring them already in the summer. But Manchester is a club that's in a hurry to win trophies. They are so impatient. They're in a hurry to win laurels. So they'll bring them already. Well, Amorim is a good coach. I hope he settles in properly. In the English Premier League, is not like the Portuguese league. The Portuguese, like Mazino said, they are very stubborn. They believe they can do anything. Let's give him a chance. But you see, the English Premier League is back to back. There's pressure. The fixtures are so tight, and so he has to do a lot. Let's pray for him that he has no injury issues in the club. That's when he's going to do what Arteta is going to right now. When you have injuries like Arteta and Guardiola are going to problem, because their key players are injured. And when your key players are injured, that's when you have the squad depth. And if you have no squad depth, then you need to turn those guys who have been sitting down the bench for a long time to play ball. So that's where your technical ability comes in. So the test of a coach is when his good players are injured. That's when you know what the coach of the coach is. Not when everybody's playing. No, it is when your Haaland is injured. Yeah. And you have your midfielder Mestre is injured. Then you can bring in a player and make you to play a wing that you're not used to. So that is grappling with the right wing now. He has played part in them for a while.
Saka is
the right wing. He has played Timber, played Partey. You can see Broderick Sterling has not really managed that wing very well since Saka went for that injury. So it's to find a way. You can see he's converting players. So he has a problem in his hands. He has to swim to the shore.
All right, talking about Arsenal, Edu has left Arsenal as sporting director, and we know that during Edu's time, Arsenal had some very fantastic buys. Do you think his departure will affect the Gunners?
His departure will really affect the Gunners, because he had a very good relationship with Arteta.
Okay,
very. There's nothing as having a convivial relationship between the coach and the sporting director. If you have that, that's a plus for you, because they will see things through the same eyes, and they will agree with players. They're not going to animosity. You will say you bought the player, they accept. Now will you get such? Yes. And I see both of them played in the same Arsenal, even though in the senior. But you see, they see it as a family affair. and they want to give you the best for their club. That's why I say legend give more to their club, to their former club, than coaches that come from somewhere else. So it is a big loss for Arsenal. But if I would advise Arsenal, they should go for Gigi Bekistan. Gigi Bekistan is the current sporting director for Man City.
Okay,
He's about to leave or he's almost leaving. Yes, they should go for him because Arteta worked with him when he was in Man City. So and they have a relationship. So go him and bring him. Let him bring that winning mentality he had with Man City. And that would be the best for any other person to be a gamble.
All right, let's wrap it up quickly. Time not our friend. Mr. Mount has returned back from injury for Manchester United. Is this a plus and a chance for him to stake a claim in the team with Amorim and Van Nistelrooy in charge?
Very good. It's a good time for him to come up because he's going to fill those gaps that are available. But he's a guy that's highly talented.
So how come you've not seen the best of him?
Perhaps maybe the depends on the coach, the management style of the coach. Most times, players, as a coach, you're going to have to manage the egos of top players. You're going to manage the idiosyncrasies, you're going to manage off-the-field behavior. So, if you don't have a large heart of the coach to manage this, you will not be able to treat some players well. And also favoritism, and also the kind of lineups plays.
The formation there.
Yeah, so these things happen to players. So, but you see, you need to rotate the squad as much as possible. Try and rotate it. That's one of the good things about Pep Guardiola and Arteta. You make sure nobody is sitting down for too long. You rotate the squad, give everybody some delegate. Bring them Carabao Cup. You have Carabao Cup. Bring them in and let them play. Why don't you bring your first team player and bring Carabao Cup and somebody is sitting down? It doesn't speak well. Carabao Cup should when they come and prove why they should put in the first team. Yes. So you see nobody bring Carabao Cup, they play better because they want to put in the first team. So that is what a coach should have. Ten Hag has issues with with some players. You need to step down your ego. Stoop to conquer as a coach.
All right.
For you.
All right, so we're going to stoop to conquer here as we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. Time not our friend. I feel so terrible, but he stood at his best, giving us an analysis. Hopefully, I try to cajole him to be here tomorrow, but he's got a date with the doctor. So hopefully, maybe Wednesday or Thursday we'll have him join us and give us the very best of analysis as we talk sport right here. My name is Anthony Momodu, the King of Sport, saying thank you for being part of Talk Sport. Good morning.
Good morning.